What's good, people? You're back with your boy Jordan GK. Guys, we got some more Jordan Peterson for you. We're going to see him shut down this passive aggressive journalist here back in 2019. Guys, hope you're enjoying the content so far. We have been covering a lot of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. You know, different different incidents in the trial, and you know the comedy aspect of it also. So I hope you've enjoyed that content. But I thought I'd come back to a little bit of Jordan Peterson. Guys, keep the comments up. You know, keep your video suggestions open to me as well. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to suggest some videos for me. Because on this channel we react to pretty much anything and everything. Obviously, you guys, you know, most of you that have been subscribed to this channel for quite a while now, I'm pretty sure you've realized that I'm kind of avoiding the music. I just feel like the amount of effort and work I put into these videos, I just feel like I'm not getting anything out of it when it comes to music, especially when there's copyright claims and rights over the videos. It's just not beneficial for me. But if there are any good future music videos out in the future, any top artists that have made some bangers, I will react to them. But I'm just trying to avoid music for a while because it's just really not benefiting me and the channel. Yeah, but anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get straight into this video.
Types of women, because the normal things you would have recourse to if you were debating men are not available to you. And what you meant there was you couldn't hit her.
No, I didn't mean that.
You didn't mean that? You meant,
well,
what did you,
I
tell me what you meant.
I didn't mean that at all.
Tell me what you meant.
It's known among men that there are limits to the manner in which you can interact, and that those limits don't necessarily apply when you're dealing with women, especially women of a certain sort. And there's no way of regulating that, and that's a big problem. That's what I meant, and I think that it's true.
It's obvious a lot of women were surprised to hear that, and
happy as well.
I would have thought a lot of men were surprised to hear that, because my experience is that men don't generally engage in their interactions on the basis of suppressing their anger, which is what you're really getting at.
They don't
engage in their interactions on the basis of, I've got to moderate.
No, they regulate their behavior so that anger isn't necessary.
Yes. Why you strike me as angry, and I wonder why you're angry.
What?
I guess I'm not sure why I strike you as angry.
You don't feel angry?
At the moment? Not particularly.
Well, okay, generally?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, most of the places that I go, look, I can tell you what my life is like. You can tell me if you think this would be a life that would make you angry. Okay, everywhere I go, I'm stopped by people, at least a dozen times a day. I would say 5 times an hour. They're often young men, but not always. Almost all of them are exceptionally polite when they approach me. They'd like to have a picture, they'd like to talk to me, and they'd like to tell me why their life is substantially better since they've encountered my work. And I've gone to, I don't know, a dozen countries, maybe more, 15 countries, and talked to at least 10,000 people who've told me that story over and over. And so you imagine what your life would be like if everywhere you went, what people did was come up to you and thank you because what they did helped you not commit suicide and get out of your addiction and stop being alcoholic and take responsibility for your life and try to put your family together, and that things are much, much better, and that they're often in tears. It's not something that makes you angry. It's something that makes you hurt.
It's not making you angry now?
It's hurtful to see how much need there is for that in society, and how unfortunate it is that people need such a small amount of encouragement to lift themselves out of those sorts of places of hell. And it is irritating to me, I would say, that men in particular, young men, have been discouraged to the point where that's such a common occurrence, when they need so little encouragement to move forward in a productive and progressive direction.
I accept that. What surprises me is that the context of it is a context in which the me is stressed, and the more traditional questions of how you fit in, how you cope with an evolving society, rather than being able to encouraging people to stand back and go, actually, the way society is evolving is wrong, and we can step back from it and we can stop it. It seems to me there's a nostalgia that you're offering people there.
You insist upon this idea that the me's at the center of this. So I talked to a young man a month ago who had stopped his heroin addiction about a year ago, and it was as a consequence of watching my lectures. And he said he's had 12 of his friends do the same thing. And I insist continually that if you're treating yourself properly, you're doing it in a way that also benefits your family and also benefits the community. There's a strong communitarian ethos in there, and it has nothing to do with what would you call it, a focused individualism.
Got him!
We had that series of statements from you. Speaking clearly is one of your 12 rules. And I wonder why it is that in a situation like that and in many other situations, what actually happens is that you sow confusion.
I don't sow confusion. The journalist that interviewed me sow confusion. The woman who wrote the New York Times article. Why do you think that happens? That you get misinterpreted in your views so often? With her, it was absolutely clear. I spent 2 days with her, and we spent 30 seconds talking about enforced monogamy, and she's a very smart woman, and she knew exactly what I meant and chose to make that the centerpiece of the article for I would say, to attract attention in a way that was completely inappropriate.
But you know, it's not just the journalists from the New York Times. You know that this happens over and over and over.
That's because the journalists read each other's journalism, and they don't read the books, and they don't watch what I'm saying.
Never with you. The fault is...
the fault is sometimes with me.
Do you know what the problem is with people, especially journalists? Like, not all journalists, but like you just said, they tend to read off what other journalists say about that person. So they come into an interview and they base their judgment off what another journalist has said. It's like they don't actually go away and do their own research about this guy in particular. This journalist, I don't understand where this guy's, what he's trying to get at. I mean, they were talking about a particular topic about men, and then all of a sudden, he's talking about, are you angry? Like, what's that got to do with this interview? I mean, it doesn't, he goes, you strike me as an angry guy. You strike me as being angry right now. It's like, just because his demeanor is serious, professional, some would say cold in a way, even though he's not a cold-hearted guy. Like, you've seen some of his videos. Like, you've seen his videos, you've seen him become emotional over certain topics. You've seen him shed a tear. Like, this guy is not a cold-hearted guy. His demeanor may cross like that as a gentleman, as a professional, but he doesn't strike me as an angry guy. I just feel like people don't take this guy serious enough, man. Like, and there's a lot of things that in today's society that we like to overturn, and we just like to kind of, put a cover over it, put a sheet over it, because it's reality. He's speaking the truth here, man. Like, this is the truth. Why is it that he says, like, 5 to 10 men every single hour come up to him saying that, they've overcome their heroin addiction, their family's in a much better place? Like, come on, man. Like, he's obviously what he's doing and what the impact he has, he's obviously making a change. And it's like, when other people see that one guy is doing that, some people just kind of want to know what it is about what he's saying, because what Jordan Peterson tends to go off, especially when it comes to men, is like there's lack of encouragement, there's lack of drive towards how to be a man. And I feel like the people that are, you want to call them snowflakes, I don't know what you want to call them, the people that tend to say that, we live in a different society now where you can be what you want, you can be who you want to be, all this stuff. Well, it's like, it is actually important to be a man, like to fend off your male traits, to be a gentleman, to be almost politically correct, to be well spoken. Like, all these facts and true statements that this guy comes up with is completely true. Like, that's what a man should, but that's what you should bestow upon your your character, man. Like, if you're not doing that, then I don't understand why these snowflakes, especially some of these journalists, they come in and, oh, well, I feel like you're coming across a little bit angry and a little bit aggressive. It's like, what? Shut the hell up, man.
Like I always say everything perfectly. But there's no, it's getting dull to read the journalistic accounts because they're just mirror images of everything that's been written over the last year and a half. And the same old things. There's 10 epithets that are generally thrown at me, every one that you can possibly think of. And people have gone over everything I've said to my students for the last 30 years, almost all of which is recorded, and found absolutely no evidence for any of that, even once.
I would say that there is a lot online of journalists actually trying to interview seriously, trying to get towards a proper understanding. And that, what you just said to me, is a very common thing you say. I've been over the evidence, there is no evidence anywhere.
It isn't just me that's been over the evidence, it's people that have been taken.
Bro, need some new glasses as well, bro. Go and get some new glasses, bro. I don't understand people that have, like, wear the glasses, like, right down to the tip. Bro, keep your head up, bro. Be a man, be a gentleman, bro. Sit nice and straight in your chair, bro. Why are you...
Proper understanding, and that, what you just said to me, is a very common thing you say. I've been over the evidence, there is no evidence anywhere.
It isn't just me that's been over the evidence, it's people that have been trying to take me out who've been over the evidence and have not been able to find any.
Last year you said, asked what you would say to Justin Trudeau, your Prime Minister, and you said, you thought for a while and you said, dividing people into their tribal groups can do nothing but bear evil fruit in the long run. And I wonder if that isn't a very good example of the assumption that the world was properly organised before, when really it's always been in tribes, always been in classes and in gender groups and in races, and the organisation of the world in that way has always borne evil fruit.
Okay.
And I wonder, in addition to that, whether you recognise that you are one of the world's leaders of identity politics.
No, I don't think
you don't accept
believe
that?
I don't believe
you
that
believe
that's
you
true
are a champion for an identity group?
What would be the identity group?
White men.
No, I think that that's an appalling accusation, and I think if you go to my talks, for example, that there's no evidence that that's the case, and it's you certainly have no evidence that that's my readership, and even if it was the case that the predominant...
Where do these journalists get their information from, bro? That's just hearsay, bro.
People that I'm talking to are men between the ages of 25 and 35. That doesn't make me an identity politician, and those people need to be talked to too.
Why does that not make you an identity politician? Those people
because I'm not inviting them.
I'm not arguing they shouldn't be talked to. I'm just wondering why you would say that you weren't an intellectual leader for that group of people and many others.
Because I'm not inviting them specifically to what I'm doing. That's just how it's turned out. And the part of the reason for that is because the YouTube viewership is 80% male across the board. That has nothing to do with me.
There's a women's bookshop called the Women's Bookshop in this city. I'm allowed in there.
Well, no one's saying that this guy is actually a crook. Of course you're allowed in there. He's not saying that females aren't allowed to his lectures. He's not saying that females aren't allowed to view his YouTube videos. It's just what he attracts, what he speaks about, the subjects he's talking about. Why would women want to sit there and listen to that? Unless they wanted a better understanding of a male. He's not saying, like, this is just all hearsay. All hearsay, all things that you're making fake statements of what this guy is trying to pursue and what he's trying to portray. And what he's saying is 80% of men watch his YouTube videos. I watch his YouTube video. Okay, that is just the way it is. There's no indication, there's no evidence of Jordan Peterson saying that there's no, I don't want females watching my thing. I don't want females on my platform. I don't want females on my lectures. You never said that. What are you talking about?
It's not an exclusive thing. You wouldn't want to argue that a women's bookshop calling itself that wasn't explicitly feminist, because of course it is.
But I don't call my book something that's specifically devoted to men, and the vast majority of my students throughout my academic career have been women. at least 80% of them. And certainly it's a very large proportion of women that are reading and buying the book.
Oh, there you go.
So this is just a trope that journalists use. Your audience is primarily angry young white men. It's like, okay, fine, I've talked to about 350,000 people in the last year, and there hasn't been one incident, untoward incident of any sort by any single one of the people who've come to my talks. And that's 350,000 people. So where's the aggression?
Yeah, you see, what you've just done there, you took what I said and took it to an extreme. I didn't talk about angry, I just said white men. I accept that the angry side is a very small corner, but okay.
Bro, I hate journalists, especially journalists, people. You're trying to interview probably one of the most intelligent beings in this day and age, but when it comes to politics, gender politics, all that stuff, like, he's probably one of the most intelligent guys when it comes to those subjects. Like, number one, pick your bro. That is not the right. Listen, pick your glasses up. Sit up like a gentleman. Talk to him direct. Don't be slapped. What's that? Number two, you're literally just, all you're saying is hearsay. It's just hearsay. You're looking at other journalists and what they've said and what they've asked in the interviews, and you're using the same point. So it's nothing new to him. Like, I'm literally waiting for a journalist or someone to really ask him some proper questions here, because it's like, it's just all hearsay and what other journalists have been asking this guy for how many years now. Like, as a male, I love his work. I can't fault it. Do I think that someone being honest and telling the truth is aggressive? No, I don't. That's the problem with this day and age, and the kids and the teenagers and the young adults now. You know, in this society, man, it's like we're snowflakes, man. Not all of us. I mean, I don't consider myself a snowflake, but majority of us, man, we get offended over the truth. Like, if someone's honest with you in this day and age, you take it as aggression. You take it as being passive aggressive. It's like, would you rather hear the truth or me lie to you and say, you know, that's like me saying, it's like, if we go into gender, for example, or let's just say, for example, I have a female friend, or I don't know, a female cousin, let's say that. And she comes to me and says, oh, Jordan, I feel like I've been, I don't know, people been saying I've put on weight. You don't think I look this way, do you? And if I turn and said, oh, no, you look gorgeous, don't worry about it, don't listen to those people. But she physically looks overweight, why would I not tell her that she's overweight and that she needs to go to the gym? Most people, oh, why are you saying I'm overweight? Oh, that's rude. It's like, being overweight, saying that someone's overweight isn't rude. It's not abusive. Saying that someone's overweight and they need to go to the gym is being honest and is helping them for the long run. And you could, you know, when it comes to, I'm not going to go into the whole gender equality aspect because I know what people are like out there on YouTube, social media. I'll get hate anyway for it. All right. But it's like, why can't people just accept the truth nowadays and accept honesty, man? I just don't get it, man. We're in a world now where our children's children are going to be screwed. Like, you know, they're going to need support for everything. And even men in this day and age, mental health, like, there hasn't been enough truth, honesty and encouragement for how many years now when it comes to men. Why do you think all these men have mental issues and depression and all this bullshit? Like, it's crazy. It's a crazy world we're living in, for real. But guys, I hope you enjoyed that one, man. If you want more Jordan Peterson, more debate videos, political videos, let me know and I'll get to that. Guys, you're here with your boy Jordan, and I'll see you in the next video.